What's up, everybody? I want to tell you about a conversation I had today that every drone pilot needs to hear. And what started as what I thought was going to be some drone content. I thought it was going to be, some aerials of a building, turned into a $500 per property agreement. That's right. Now, how did all that happen? Instead of thinking like a drone pilot, I started thinking marketing. I started thinking of a marketing partner. So I started asking the client just different things. Some of the things that I asked were like, "What are you going to do with my content? What is your bigger plan?" I knew he was a real estate agent. That's all I really knew. I knew he had. I did know he was an investor. I didn't realize he had over 150 properties. What I did know is that I love drone work, I love photography, and maybe I could solve a big problem for him. So, come to find out, I asked, what is he going to do with this information? And he said, well, I'm building my website. And I'm like, great. What are you going to do for content? And he said, that's why you're here. That's why you're here. He said, look, I saw a picture that he saw a drone picture, an aerial that I had posted on my page, and he loved it. And how this conversation came to be was because he shared it, but he didn't really talk to me about it. And so I asked him, I said, maybe we need to do coffee if you're sharing my photos. And so long story short, we had coffee this morning. And so I'll tell you this, I tell you this information because I think every drone pilot should be open to all aspects. I mentioned drone, I mentioned 360, I mentioned photography, I mentioned walkthrough video, and he said yes, 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 and yes. And then I said, well, what do you want to do? Let's go ahead and start this. I said I would need to talk to maybe your website designer, if that's okay. And he said sure. And I said okay, great. And I said I also offer some AI that could be helpful, so you don't even have to answer the phone. They can fill out the information and get in touch with you, kind of a filtering system. He thought that was incredible. So we'll be talking about that as well. But I don't want you as drone pilots to ask, do you need a drone pilot when you're talking to a client? What you really need to do is, what are you trying to do? What are you going to do with the content? Where are you going with this? What you're going to get the content, you're going to get photos, but where's it going? And then find out if you can help them get there. So hopefully this helped you a little bit as you get your drone and you start building a business off of that, not just photos. I take photos, I've been told I take photos from my heart because I want that business to stand out. I want that real estate agent to sell their house. That's why I sell photos. That's why I do photos. That's why I got into this, was because I didn't feel like there was enough passion behind photography and videography. And here we are. And it all started with one drone and an aerial of the same place that many of us have walked through many times, but from a different angle. And sometimes you got to look at things from a different angle. So I teach other drone pilots how to make money. Drone to Dollars is a school class. Go to school, skool.com, and learn more there about how you can start making money with your drone if you're a drone pilot. And good luck today, but always opportunity will pass you by. So don't forget about that. Opportunity can pass you by and you not see it. So always be open, and always you're not a drone pilot. You're a solution solver. So anyway, I'm Jimmy B, jbdronesolutions.com. Have a great day.